Hey folks, welcome back. So a few days ago I showed you how to use the global scale of Bitwig Studio 6, how it works and so on, and I kind of mentioned that it misses some node transpose or global node transpose because you usually just play in one scale and then you switch the scale to something different, but then also the root node switches or it changes. And what you want to do is basically take all your nodes and also transpose it up or down so the root node is in the right place of the next scale. And I said this is something they need to implement, but it's actually already in there. All we have to do is to create some kind of small little preset that you can copy or clone or insert at any place at any time. I show you this here in Bitwig. So we have here now at the moment C major, but we want to use C minor because I like it more. And we want to create some kind of melody, maybe in 85 BPM. So we create here a new note clip. And I don't want to open up the editor as, yeah, you know my. So then we want to insert here a polymer synthesizer, and maybe we want to add a bit of reverb and delay. Okay. And we want to maybe go down 3 decibels. So here we see now the C minor scale, and if you want to play some small little chord, so I use the root note here, which is C, and then I just skip here one note, skip one scale note, also skip one, skip one. Let's see how this sounds here. So it's a nice little chord. So we use an arp to make some kind of melody out of it. Nice. Then we duplicate this, and we want to switch now here from one scale to the other. So we insert here a root key switch, or maybe insert key signature change, that's how it's called. So we have here C minor, and then we have here, let's say we go to the next scale inside of the circular fifth, which is 7 semitones higher, which is then G. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, G. Okay. So when we open up here the detail editor in track mode, you can see we have different scales here and here, of course, because we changed it, but we still play the same notes. So inside of the C minor scale, this is here, I don't know, a root chord. Inside of the G minor scale, this is actually maybe the dominant, right, or the fourth of the scale, so it's not the same. So what you want to do is you want to transpose everything here to the new root. So the root here is C, which is correct, but here we are on G minor, so we need to push this up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 semitones, right? So we end up on G. And you need to do this basically every time you switch the scale or the root node. So it's a bit tedious, right? So people said, well, there needs to be some kind of global transpose feature. But like I said, we can do this right now inside of the grid here. All we have to do is to open up here the node grid. And you can save this as a preset and just call it global transpose or whatever. So in here, we have input node, output node. This is basically the node we get from the piano roll, and we want to transpose this. And now we can utilize some of the new modules from Bitwig 6, which is called the root key. And of course, we need the pitch class, this one here. So the pitch class is actually something we need to define, because we need to define what kind of nodes we are actually insert into the node grid, and then we want to transpose. So here it's C, because we play here C minor, and also here we play everything in C minor. So we tend to use basically the notes of the C minor scale, but we want to transpose it into the correct scale because we change it here and we need to transpose it. Okay, so all we have to do in here is basically to, I say basically a lot, right? We need to subtract or find the difference. So let's use subtract. Subtract this from that, and we end up on 0, of course, because we're not in G, so we switch here. So you can see it's +7 semitones. So this one calculated basically for us that we need to pitch or transpose everything up by 7 semitones, which is exactly what we want to do. So now we add this to our input pitch here. So we take our input pitch and then we add 7 semitones to it. That's all we do. When we change this here maybe to something different, let's go here to G or maybe F. You can see here it shows F, and then we need to transpose by 5 semitones. So it kind of yeah, gives you the right transposing number or the right note offset kind of. So then we need to reattach this here and maybe say we want to have multiple voices because we want to play polyphonically. We want to insert multiple notes, not just one. So we go for 16 possible voices here. And then we can just play this back. Right, and it transposes all the notes from C to G. And maybe we want to switch here to the next inside of the circle of fifth. So let's insert key signature change. So from G, the next one is, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's D, okay. And then we switch here maybe to the next one. Insert Q, not Q. Insert key signature change. So the next one is probably A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's A. Okay. So then we just duplicate here all the clips and we transpose automatically. That's one problem. You can hear sometimes there's a note not correctly switching. And here we need to implement, of course, a sample and hold. And we use here that. So it holds basically the input note, holds the pitch for as long as you hold the note in here. I think it's a bit cleaner. Let's play it. Perfect. So all we have to define on this patch now, on this preset, is more or less here our pitch class. So here we define what kind of input notes we are giving this note grid, and this maybe we can recall here to global transpose scale or whatever, and then save it here also scale transpose uses the global scale feature of Bitwig 6 to transpose input nodes to the correct root of the chosen scale. Damn. Digital, probably, let's say note. Is it digital? Yeah, it's probably everything is digital. I mean, digital is always right as a tag. Okay. So with this, you can basically say, oh, I just don't want to use the C minor scale as an input. I play always D sharp minor. You know me, right? So instead of here C, I probably play here on E flat. Okay. So then I have to change here to E flat, and then it's the same thing. And the cool thing now is that we can insert here a new, let's say, polymer synthesizer, and play on top. And we don't need to know in what kind of scale we are, because the global scale does this for us. So let's activate here my my keyboard and I play just in D sharp minor. So I put this also here. And it transposes everything automatically. All I do is basically these two notes. Let's try it out. Right, and all my input notes are kind of changed to the new root of the global scale. So I can just play in my scale, in my C minor scale, in my D sharp minor scale, and then I modulate here through all of the global scales, and the global transpose preset basically changes or transposes everything up or down so it matches exactly the new scale, which is kind of dope, I would say. Maybe I could play a bass. Maybe an ARP here. Let me see. Yeah, nice. It makes it very easy to play in multiple scales without you knowing the scale. So you treat basically every section here as a new scale, and you play only with your keyboard in exactly this scale. And this global transpose preset helps you to transpose everything to the correct root node, which is dope. I put this here in the description below. I put it on my GitHub. You can just download this for free if you want to. It's a pretty simple setup. And it works great because we have now these new tools. It's kind of similar, I would say, to, what's the name? Harmonizer here in Bitwig, this one. I think someone made on YouTube a few videos about this, how it's not correctly working. So here again, you can change the incoming key, right? It's the same what we have here. And then you say harmonize this to a different track. But this kind of device here is a bit flawed, or something is not working correctly. I haven't used this actually that much. Anyway, but this one here, we change the input nodes, we change the global scale, and then everything is taken care of, okay? I want to show you this because I just played around with this and I thought it's a great video and some people want to know how it works. So here it is, okay? Leave a like, leave a subscription, let me know what you think, and I see you in the next video. Bye, have fun.